Today we're diving into a breaking development coming straight from Denmark, one that has stirred debates, raised eyebrows, and sent ripple effects across Europe. What Denmark has just decided is not only bold, it's transformative, and many analysts are calling it a decision that could shift Europe's future in unexpected ways. So let's explore what's happening, why it matters, and how it could reshape the political, economic, and social landscape across the continent. Denmark has always been known for its stability, balanced politics, and pragmatic decisions. But the move it just announced has left even its closest European partners surprised. This new direction signals that Denmark is ready to challenge long-established norms and step into a leadership role that many didn't anticipate. Whether this shift is strategic, symbolic, or both, it has already pushed Europe into a deep conversation about what the future of the region might look like. Many people across Europe are wondering why Denmark chose this moment to make such a defining move. Analysts say that the timing is not accidental. Europe is going through one of its most complex phases in years, with rising political divides, economic restructuring, and changes in global alliances. Denmark's decision seems to be a direct response to this shifting environment, a signal that the country is no longer comfortable maintaining the status quo while the world evolves at high speed. Behind this decision is a sense that Denmark wants to secure its place in a rapidly changing global system. For decades, Denmark has balanced independence with cooperation, but now it appears ready to step into a more assertive role. Some believe this move symbolizes a new form of European leadership, one that is more flexible, innovative, and willing to break away from old frameworks if they no longer serve the region's interests. Across major European capitals, the reaction has been a mix of concern, admiration, and curiosity. Some leaders have praised Denmark for having the courage to take decisive action in a moment where uncertainty dominates politics. Others, however, worry that this bold shift could inspire similar actions in neighboring countries, potentially reshaping alliances in ways that are hard to predict. One thing is clear: Denmark has forced Europe to pay attention. Critics argue that Denmark might be taking a risk that could backfire if not managed carefully. They warn that sudden changes can unsettle markets, shake public confidence, and disrupt partnerships that took years to build. Yet supporters believe the opposite, that bold moves are necessary precisely because Europe is at a crossroads. According to them, waiting too long to adapt can sometimes be more dangerous than taking the first step into the unknown. For ordinary citizens, the reaction has been mixed but emotionally charged. Many Danish citizens express pride that their country is finally making a historic decision that could place Denmark at the center of European conversations. For years, people have debated whether small nations can truly influence the direction of the continent. Now, Denmark seems ready to prove that size doesn't limit impact when determination and planning align. A big part of this decision revolves around a shift in national priorities. Denmark has spent years building strong systems in technology, sustainability, security, and social policy. Officials say that the country now feels confident enough to take this experience into a new direction, one that could benefit Europe as a whole if managed correctly. This moment isn't just about Denmark. It's about shaping the continent's future in ways that match today's challenges. Experts are already predicting that Denmark's move could trigger a new wave of political evolution across the EU. Countries that have been hesitant to challenge existing structures might now consider bringing new ideas to the table. Denmark's decision could signal the start of a more dynamic era, where innovation and boldness are finally seen as strengths rather than risks. One of the most striking aspects of Denmark's choice is how it breaks away from traditional European hesitation. Europe is historically slow with major decisions due to its complex web of alliances and agreements. Denmark, however, has decided that waiting is no longer an option. By acting quickly, Denmark sends the message that decisive action is needed in moments of uncertainty and that leadership sometimes requires stepping ahead of the group. Some observers believe that Denmark has positioned itself as a testing ground for Europe's future. If this decision succeeds, it could become a model others follow. If it fails, it will still provide lessons that can shape new strategies across the region. Either way, Denmark has ensured that the continent is now paying attention and evaluating its own readiness for change. The ripple effects are already visible in ongoing discussions within European institutions. Questions are being raised about how the EU should adapt, whether new policies are needed, and what this means for the unity of member states. Denmark's choice has opened the door to conversations that were previously avoided or postponed. These conversations could redefine Europe's direction for decades to come. Economically, Denmark's decision may bring short-term challenges but long-term opportunities. Businesses are watching closely, investors are analyzing potential outcomes, and markets are adjusting to the news. But many economists believe that Denmark's long-standing stability and strong governance will help it navigate any turbulence. In fact, the move might even attract new investment from companies looking for a forward-thinking environment. Politically, Denmark has made it clear that it wants a future where nations have more space to innovate while still maintaining strong partnerships. This perspective could inspire reforms that balance unity with independence. Some leaders in Europe have already expressed the need for a more flexible system that allows countries to adapt faster without harming the overall structure of the region. Socially, the decision has sparked debates about national identity, the role of smaller countries, and what it means to be part of Europe in a rapidly changing world. Danish citizens are discussing the future with a renewed sense of interest and engagement. This level of public involvement could strengthen the country's ability to navigate the upcoming transition with unity and confidence. One key factor behind Denmark's confidence is its track record of successful innovation. Whether in renewable energy, digital governance, or social stability, Denmark consistently ranks among the world's most effective nations. This decision appears to be an extension of that mindset, a belief that bold, strategic change is worth pursuing when the conditions are right. While Europe grapples with the implications of Denmark's move, global powers are also watching. Countries outside the EU view this decision as a potential turning point in European politics. Some see opportunities for new partnerships, while others are evaluating how this might affect global dynamics. Denmark's action has, in many ways, expanded beyond European borders and entered the global stage. The coming months will be crucial. Denmark will have to navigate diplomatic pressure, economic responses, and public expectations. Success will depend on careful planning, strong communication, and the country's ability to adapt quickly as events unfold. But Denmark seems prepared. The tone from its leadership suggests confidence and readiness for the challenges ahead. What makes this moment so powerful is the message behind the action. Denmark is saying that Europe must be ready for the future, not simply react to it. The world is changing too fast, and waiting for perfect conditions is no longer realistic. Action, even if controversial, is sometimes necessary to push the region forward. Many experts believe that this decision will be remembered as a landmark moment in European history. Whether it leads to major reforms, inspires other nations, or reshapes political alliances, its impact is already significant. Denmark's boldness has proven that even a relatively small country can influence the direction of an entire continent when it steps forward with clarity and conviction. The biggest question now is how Europe will respond. Will other countries follow Denmark's lead and embrace change? Will the EU reform its structures to adapt to a more dynamic era? Or will there be resistance from nations that prefer stability over risk? The answers will unfold in time, but one thing is certain. Denmark has started a conversation that Europe can't ignore. As this story continues to develop, analysts and citizens alike are watching carefully. Denmark's strategic vision, combined with its determination to shape its own future, paints a picture of a nation ready to take responsibility for its destiny. And whether or not Europe agrees with the decision, the boldness behind it has already set the tone for the next chapter of European politics. In the end, Denmark's future shifting decision is more than a policy change. It's a statement, a declaration that the future belongs to those who are willing to adapt, innovate, and take risks when the moment demands it. Denmark has chosen to act, and now the rest of Europe must decide how to respond. This story is far from over, and the coming years will reveal just how historic this moment truly is.